Good day, my name is John Vincent Saracanlao. You can call me Sir John or call me Dr. Saracanlao. Our lesson for today is criterion and norm-based scaling in group data. So when you talk about criterion follows a 0 point, while norm-based follow the lowest value and the highest value. Criterion is based on standards, and this standard could vary institutionally or as preferred. Most performance tests has its own standards, which means that there are existing number of groups, intervals, and range. Thus, it should be followed. But if none, the following procedure will aid and facilitate in constructing the group data. So we'll do norm first. Norm. So range. Range is a series of numbers, the difference between the largest and the smallest value observation. So range is what's the highest value and the lowest value. So for example, we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, and 10. The highest value is 10 and the lowest value is 5. So our range is 5. Norm-based range in group data. Norm-based range with group data is necessary when dealing with high range data. If the data has a range of 5, then it is not necessary to group them. However, if the data has a range that may require grouping, both for necessity and convenience, the data should be grouped. Take, for example, this one. With a given data, 380, 321, 366, 349, so on, that's a long, it's a wide range data. So we have range is the highest value is 438 and our lowest value is 318. So we have a range of 120. So we need to at least group them so that we can count the frequency within the range. Since the range is so high, it is necessary to group them. So the first step is really to identify the class size of group data in norm reference data analysis. To get the class size, we need Sturge's formula. So k is equals to log 2n plus 1 or k is equal to 1 plus log 2n. Your k is your number of groups, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's your groups, and n is the number of respondents or observations. So k plus here are we have 10 observations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, this is not 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So that's our observations. We have 19 observations. So our N is 19. We have 19 respondents or observations. And next one is we calculate for our search or a number of groups. So we have 1 plus uh, 33 log n, which is 19 observations. So our log n here is, that's in our formula bar, we have 33 times log, it's automatic in Excel. Then you click on B1, which is 19. The next one is uh, 1 plus log n, 1 plus log 2n. So that's 1 plus B5, and we have 5.219, or we have 5 groups. Okay, so we have 5 groups. This one is wrong. So that's, I thought the observation was 10. We're going to base an example. So our log k is 5.21. So that's the number of groups that we should have. Insert one more table below. we have five. So we have one, two, three, four, five. To determine the class interval, we just have to divide the range in number of groups. So we have five, so equals to 120 over five. We have a range of our class interval is 24. You understand? Yes, I hope you know. It's a simple concept. So 24. Now we need to identify our lowest values. We have 318 plus 24. That is, so our lowest value is 318 and 342. So 342 equals to plus 24. That would be 366, and this will be 343. Then equals to, there's an easier way to do that, but I'll just do it as it is so that it's clear to us. So 390. 390, and that would be 367. 367. And 390 plus 24 is 414. 414. 414. So that's 414. So this is 391. And we have equals to this one plus 24, that's 338. So we have 438 and 415. So that is our group. One, two, three, four, five. We have five groups with an interval, class interval of 24. So that's basically how you make your table within the, that's the way how you make your group. And we can now count how many are within the range. So we have, we'll copy this one. Dun, 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 dun. There. So, and we have this data. Paste cell values only, and it's not. It's all in one cell. I need to manually input it. So we have 380, 321, 366, 349, 399, 384, 410, 329, 350, 340, 324, 412, 420, 382, 382, 318, 344, and 438. So that's our data. So we want to count how many belong to within the range of 315 and 438. 415 to 438. So it's equals to, I'll be teaching this one later when we do data analysis step by step. But as for now, let's just go through the process of showing how it goes. And we click on the higher range. Then, so that's it. So we have five responses or scores within the range of within the interval of 318 to 344. We have 4 from 343 to 366. And it is now their data is arranged or grouped in a certain way that is correct according to Sturgeon's formula in terms of group and in terms of intervals. So that's how you set your data. Remember that we are still in norm reference. That means we're considering the highest value, which is 438, and the lowest value of 380. Let's now go to criterion based scaling. So when we talk about criterion, we're not looking at the scores or result, we're looking at the standard. So criterion based range in group data. Criterion based range follows a 0 point or a perfect score, perfect point, regardless the fact that none of the respondents got a 0 or a perfect score. Criterion is based on standards, and the standards could vary institutionally or as preferred. The goal of setting criterion is to identify the bottom group from which the score or responses of the group did not meet the required criteria. Step 1. You have to set your criterion. You have to 0.25, 0.30, 0.35, and so on. The default is usually at 0.30. So in a 10 item test, if the criteria is 0.30, the score of the bottom group is from 0 to 3. Since 10 times 0.30 is equals to 3, that's the score 0 to 3 would be the lowest class interval. Now we have to determine the number of groups. So determining the number of groups. One alternative is to use Sturgeon's formula, but instead of n as the number of respondents, n is the highest possible score, which is 10. So you have 4 groups. Next is determining the range of the other class. Note that 0 to 3 is the lowest based on the criterion. So we have 0 to 3. Next is to divide the remaining score to be equitably distributed to other groups. So we have 7 divided by 3 because we have 10 minus 3, which is the lower group. That means we have 7 scores, 7 data that needs to be distributed according to the group in reference to Sturgeon's formula. So that's 7 divided by 3 is 2.2. Let's make that 2. Note that 3 is the highest score in the lowest group based on criterion and the groups that needs to be assigned in the range of values. So create your table. So 2. So the first group is 0 to 3. Your second group is 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You notice that there's 3 here simply because it have a decimal point of 3.33. It stacks out. We use the lowest value of we use the lowest value of 2 instead of using the threshold of 3.3. You can use the 3.3 in a sense if you want, but you can always round it off. If you want to be more very specific about it, it's okay, but you can also round it off to the nearest decimal point. So note that range is not the same with the class interval of the middle group. This is because of the consequential effect of Sturgeon's formula with the remaining decimal point. Sometimes the higher the range, the smaller or sometimes bigger in the middle group than the middle range. But the point is we have the lowest, middle, and the highest point or range based on the criterion. So if the criterion is zero point 0.5, that means 10 times 0.05. The lowest group is from 0 to 5. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 5 remaining score divided by 3, still 1.6. We made it as 2. We rounded it as 2, so 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So basically, that's how you set your data. And now you have your criterion, and so regardless of the scores of the students, you just type in the frequency of how many got 10, how many got 8 and 9, 6 and 7, and 0 to 5. Considering that you already set your criteria, and it depends on how much you set them. So I hope you learned something from this lesson. This is very important, actually. Uh, Simple but important. And I hope you learned something, and I hope you will be able to purchase the book. It should be released around mid-February or end of February in 2024. Yeah, I'm so excited. I really want to reach out to people, to students, or in the even applied researchers, to, or to those who want to venture research, to have a simple, yet comprehensive information about how to go about things. And I think the book itself contains only the most relevant ones that you will be needing when you go through research. You can always add for information, but we're still on page 18 of the 79 page book. There's still a lot to learn. I'll be making more videos, and I hope you will be able to purchase the book and learn from these videos on how to do a criterion based range in group data as well as norm. So we're discussing here three concepts already. We have range, intervals, and Sturgis formula. So that's it. Thank you and have a great day.